Now that we have established a connection to the MetaMask wallet and created a contract object, let's go ahead and use it. So first, let's issue certificate. So go to issue certificate.html. We are going to define this function that we are already mapped to the issue certificate button. To do that, first we need to import web3, then the app.js, where we have written all our logic, followed by we will write the logic for issue certificate in this HTML page itself. So let's open a script tab. Then we will define the function issue certificate. Followed by, first we need to get all the data for issuing a certificate, which is certificate ID, course name, candidate name, grade, and date. We get them by ID from corresponding inputs. Then we use the myContract object .methods.new certificate to insert values into the new certificate by providing all these captured values as parameters, then using the send method, and which has two parameters, from and gas limit. The from means which account will give the fees for this transaction, and the gas limit is for the gas limit for the transaction. Then this is also an asynchronous call, so we'll use a promise to handle that. Then we will console.log that transaction receipt. Then we will simply print out the certificate number. Now that we have issued the certificate, next we can search for it. So go to index.html. Let's create a script tag, and inside that we are going to define the get certificate details function, which is mapped to the search function in the home page. First we need to get the certificate ID, so we get that by getElement by ID. Then using myContract methods, we get the certificate details function. We use the certificate details function in the smart contract and pass in the certificate ID, and we call it. So here we use the call method. So whenever we are reading from the blockchain, we use the call method. Whenever we are writing to the blockchain, we use the send method. Here also we will be specifying the which account from the call is going, but it's not mandatory, it's optional. But in our case we are having a check, so like we are going with that. Then it's also a asynchronous call. We use the promise. Then we log out the result. Then we store those data into the local storage, basically the browser storage, so that we can retrieve that in another page. So we store the certificate details, certificate ID, candidate name, course name, grade, date, and then we create a URL to which we redirect our users. So that will be the view certificate HTML. And we go to the view certificate HTML and describe a script tag. Then on the Windows onload function, we get the data that we just stored, and then we assign that to the particular placeholders that we created. So we do all of those, and yeah, that's it. So we basically store the certificate ID, candidate name, course name, and grade and date. And finally we have done with the coding part. Now we can see how we will run this program in the next video.